Primetime continues.
In Hollywood, they call him Mr. Money. He sat down for his first in-depth interview in several years.
Wearing sunglasses, you're cheating, you know. You're cheating if you wear sunglasses.
Oh, I was up late. I don't want to have red eyes in the interview. I'd rather have him go, why do you have on his shades? And his eyes are red.
You took 2 years off the last couple of years. Were you just tired, Eddie, after this decade of a lot of hard work, or you just...
Just lost my focus. I think my biggest gift, the most important thing with me was at 15, I knew what I wanted to do. You know, I was focused and I knew what I wanted to do. Towards the end of my 20s, like around 27, 28, I totally lost focus. It was like, well, why am I even gigging, you know? Ain't nobody digging the movie, and I ain't digging it, and I'm fat, and well, let me just go home and regroup, because this ain't, I know I can't be finished, I'm 27.
Everybody scream, nigga. It's okay, you got permission, I ain't gonna hurt nobody.
Eddie Murphy started performing in high school, spending his nights doing stand-up comedy instead of sitting down to study.
Just wait for me to count to 3. This last night I did a club, they screamed it before I asked them.
When the most popular boy of the senior class graduated, he skipped college and got himself a job.
I'm one of the stars of the new Saturday Night Live. I also make more in a week than most white people make in a year. Which leads me to the conclusion that in 1981, a good education is just about as important as a warm bucket of hamster vomit.
From 1980 to 84, Eddie saved Saturday Night Live from cancellation, dazzling audiences with characters that were abrasive and provocative.
$1,500 a week without even leaving the comforts of your own bedroom. Sound too good to be true? Just sit for my new book entitled, I Wanna Be a Hoe. I hope I get to move in your neighborhood someday. The problem is when I move in, y'all move away.
There's sort of a cliche that comedians, their humor comes out of pain. Has it been true in your life?
People try to, pinpoint where the art is coming from. Well, it comes from the horror and they turn it into laughter. No one knows the recipe for humor. Who knows what it is? I haven't had a great deal of tragedy in my life. I've had a very happy life. I'm a funny cat.
Time I was like 10, my mother was like Clint Eastwood with a shoe. And you up, my mother walked in the room was like.
Eddie was raised by his mother and stepfather in middle-class Long Island. His real father was a transit cop and amateur comedian who left home when Eddie was 3. He was killed 5 years later by a jealous girlfriend.
Can you remember him at all?
Oh, I have a constant, ongoing relationship with my father.
You do?
Since day one, because there's more to all of this than the physical, Mm-hmm. So it's not like I've been without my pops. Change the subject, sensitive area.
Well, no, I think my mother's dead, and I feel she's right here with us.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean...
I thought you was going to get off into...
Oh, no.
Now, what happened with Dad, and how did he die? Because they do that to me all the time. I feel my pop's presence. I have conversations, all that.
You do?
Oh, yeah, go-to for guidance. Everything but him actually showing up in the room, and I don't even want to see nothing like that. The conversation's cool enough just to know that the presence is there.
He wanted to be a comic too, didn't he?
What happened was a fortune teller told my grandmother that one of the Murphys, someone from your family is going to be very famous, he said, and all my uncles and my father and all of them went into show business.
You think maybe I'm the one? Huh?
Everybody went after it. It was me.
There's a new sheriff in town.
Not just a new sheriff, but with the movie 48 Hours, there was a new star in town, and he was only 21.
Once you have a man with no ladies, you never go back, baby.
The next movie was Trading Places, which earned Eddie Murphy rave reviews and the title of Comic Genius.
I can see! I have legs!
At 23, Eddie had the starring role in Beverly Hills Cop and a 5-picture deal with Paramount for $15 million, the largest personal contract in Hollywood history.
Tell him that Ramon went to the clinic today, and I found out that I have herpes simplex 10. And I think Victor should go check himself out before things start falling off on the man.
A lot of critics of your work really feel that it hasn't been as artistically stellar, say, in the last 3 or 4 movies as it was in the first 2 or 3.
I agree. What happens is, as an artist, because you care what the critics are saying, you care what the audience is saying, you start trying to cater to them. And you'll be trying to make everybody happy, and you lose yourself trying to do it. And what they responded to initially was you, you know, so you gotta stay on your game.
I'm gonna blow your goddamn pinky toe off.
Oh, now you're gonna shoot me in my pinky toe.
I'm not playing with you.
They were very tough on you in Harlem Nights. I mean, you directed it, you starred in it, you wrote it as well. It sort of got panned, this movie. Did that hurt you?
There was validity to a lot of the things that people were saying about Harlem Nights, but then they went extra mean on it because it was me and because it was like, you know, I guess they viewed it as someone with an ego out of control doing all these things. And it wasn't that at all, as much as, well, let me see if I can do that, you know. And I did it, and I was like, oh, I don't like this. I'm never doing this again. this doesn't fit. No, it was. It's a combination of a bunch of different things. It's a lot of work, and then there are little tiny things that go on in a movie set. They'll come and ask you, like, should the table be like this or like this? And you want to say, I don't care. But it's your movie, so you have to go, like, how do you like that? Is that table good? You know, by the end of the day, for me, it was too much to do.
Why don't you just let Jack shoot me? Save your bullets. Jack, why don't you shoot me? Shoot me, Jack!
By the time another 48 Hours came out, Time magazine characterized Murphy as a stereotype, missing and presumed dead.
Do you take them seriously, your reviewers?
I'll give you a perfect example of how serious you can take reviews. I was sitting in the bathroom reading Time magazine, and the cat said how I walked through the movie and I was fat, you know. And I was sitting there and I was like, wow, it's true. I am fat, you know, and I wasn't giving it the way I should have, you know. And it was just, I was going through so much stuff back then. And I'm the happiest I've been ever right now.
Really?
And hopefully that'll reflect in my work.
His latest movie is Boomerang, where he plays a ladies' man who is finally ready for commitment.
Where are you going?
I have to give a speech in the morning to the board of directors, but thank you. You were great.
Call me.
Boomerang could be art imitating life, since Murphy, the once infamous womanizer, seems to have settled down. And the man who once swore he would never marry now reportedly says he will. The prospective bride is Nicole Mitchell, a 25-year-old fashion model. She is the mother of Murphy's 2-year-old daughter, Bria.
I first had my kid, there was a reluctance to even, because I was like, wait, a kid? I'm not ready for this, a kid. And slowly I got into it, you know. But it wasn't like I saw my kid and it was like, I have an announcement to make. I'm turning over a new leaf. It wasn't that type of thing.
Did you go to the delivery room?
Yeah, I didn't want to go in there, you know.
Really?
I was in there briefly. I was getting ready to leave and Nicole got a contraction. And the doctor said, you really should stay with her. And I stayed in there and I watched it. Ooh.
And you're expecting another one now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I got a little bull coming. Nicole's gonna have a boy.
What is it about this woman that holds your attention?
She's a really good person.
Was this love at first sight?
It was interest at first sight. I remember I saw Nicole, I turned to my manager and I said, now her, I would marry tomorrow with no prenuptial agreement. I said that.
And are you going to marry her with no prenuptial agreement?
No comment.
You're on tape now, you know.
Hey.
But you are getting married, right?
Hey, things are changing and love's all right.
Oh, love's all right.
Love's all right.
Eddie might be in love, but not everyone is in love with Eddie Murphy, at least not in Hollywood. Isolated by an entourage of yes-men, Murphy is said to often be late to the set and is unapproachable and lazy once he's there.
And Lady Sings the Blues when Billy D. Williams came down the steps was very cool, and I thought he was cool, but I didn't want to get with him. What's my next line?
For his newest movie, Boomerang, His lateness reportedly totaled 100 hours and $1 million. Questionable behavior for a star who gets $12 million just to step in front of the camera.
The lateness thing, that's another thing that gets blown out of proportion because it was nowhere near as bad as the rumors. You know, you hear people say he's late. And when you're talking about the type of money that's involved, the type of money that's generated from films and all that, it just sounds ridiculous. It has nothing to do with anything.
Well, you do have a reputation for being arrogant, you know that.
To see someone 21 knowing what they want to do, that'll be confused with arrogance. Plus being black is a factor too. And as much as it's like, well, who does he think he is? You know, his bodyguards. A nigger. He's a nigger. You know, that kind of thing is going on.
So why do you have the bodyguards? You have a kind of a group of guys that travel around.
To be an outsider looking in, you would say like, oh, they're tripping. Like, nobody's going to bother you. I have people say that to me all the time. Oh, no one's, and they'll be over the table. Why are you here with people? No one's gonna bother you. And it's just, you have somebody with you just as a deterrent. All famous people have a crazy fan, and all famous people have like, you know.
But all famous people don't have entourages.
That's true. That's true. I guess the amount of craziness in your life dictates who you have around you.
Some criticism has come your way from people like Spike Lee, who has said, you know, Eddie hasn't really been in the forefront of the black film movement in the last 2 or 3 years, that he has sat on his laurels more than I would like to see him.
I mean, there would be no Spike if there were no me, so you can't say like, well, Eddie hasn't done enough, because, hey, you here, ain't you? You know, that's basically the way I feel about it. I'm an actor, and when people come to see my films, they don't come to see the revolution, they come to laugh, you know? And if I could do something on the subliminal tip that a person can see something and take something with them, that's cool, but I can't, you know, in my movies go, wake up! I can't do that, you know. That's not my thing.
And that laugh. By the way, Eddie Murphy swore once that he'd never do Beverly Hills Cop 3 unless it was for money. Well, surprise, surprise, he will be doing the movie for $15 million and 15% of the gross profits.
In a moment,
I'd like to
Cher
welcome you
does
to
it.
this edition of